Hey, Mike, where are you?
I'm home!
Woo! Okay.
All right, hello everybody. So today we thought that Meg and I would talk about something that we've kind of been working or been thinking about lately as far as our lifestyle, because as most of you probably know, we are traveling the world now with our 9 kids. So 2 parents, 9 kids, and Sarah, who's our nanny. And we're just kind of hopping around Europe currently. We're in France, and
You can hear the church bell going, maybe.
the church bell is ringing. It's noon, so someone's having fun with the bell.
First thing we did, as you probably know, is traveled the country in an RV. And that actually did give us a lot of skills that we use now for making everywhere we stay feel comfortable and feeling at home at those places. After the RV, we stayed in lots of hotels and houses all over the United States, from Mississippi to New York City to Idaho to Utah. We've stayed in Airbnbs in California. We've stayed all over the place. And so we kind of have been in our mind saying, how do we make our house feel like a home? And so we decided it would be kind of fun to do a video on how we do that, because we actually do have very distinct, almost like traditions or rituals in a way that we go through to make each place we show up feel like a home. And it works. We've been really impressed with our kids' ability to be dynamic and just get to a place and feel like it's home. So today we're going to go through 5 things that we think that we do to make every house feel like a home.
And I think these 5 things can also apply even if you're in the same home all the time. I think it's important to do things that make it feel like home regardless, and it gives it a safe place for your kids to be and for you to be. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think it applies either way. So
okay, let's
we'll go
get
around
going.
and
Let's get started.
All right.
Okay, so the first thing we think is really important when we get to a house and we want to make it feel like home is smell or scent, right? That's our first S. Because if everybody knows, you walk into a new house, it has a different smell, and sometimes it's funky, and sometimes it's just weird to you. It's just new. And so one of the first things I do, and I did this in the RV too, everywhere we showed up, I would get out our diffuser and I'd put in a blend of oils. A blend that to us smells like home. I use different ones, but usually I use this one. It's only from Christmas time, but it's got like Christmas trees or fir oils in it, citrus oils, cinnamon, clove. For us, that just makes us feel at home. It smells right in the house when we do that. I know that it's the same with candles and things along those lines. I just like using oils because they aren't going to, have anything bad in them. It's just plants. And so we like to do that. So that's one of the first things we do. I think also part of smell, though, is while it's important to get to know the area you're in and to try the food culture there, it's also important to eat things that your family's used to and fill the home with the scent of those foods. It makes everybody feel really at home. I know that when, earlier this week I was cooking a pasta sauce that I like to cook, often, and the kids could smell like the onions and the garlic and the olive oil simmering in the pan. They all would come into the kitchen like, oh, what's that smell? It smells so good. So that's part of making your home feel like home. It's making it smell right. That's the first thing. Even sometimes, when you get into a bed and it smells funky, maybe it's a different laundry soap, or it's just something smells different. We even have like a little spray bottle that's got some citrus oils in it, wild orange oil in it, and some water, and we'll spray that on pillows as well. Call it like a happy spray. So scent is a really important part of our brain, and our brain responds to it with feelings of memories and makes you feel at home. So that's the first thing we do. Whether you're in your house that you stay in all the time, or you're moving around all the time like we are, just make sure that it smells right to you and that it smells good and happy and like a safe place. If you want to learn more about our oils, there's always a link in the description of every video, because people are always asking, so you can go check that out.
Yeah. Hello, Papa.
All right. So the second thing we do, we don't do these in this order particularly, but the second on our list is sight, and that starts with an S. So that's good, right? So what you see is important. So for us, we try to do a few things that not only, well, I would say make it feel like our home wherever we're at. So A couple things.
Everyone knows who everyone is.
One
Are
is
you guys doing the car?
We're listening to
playing
regular
one-
music while playing the bang, which
one-
is the Wild West
Yeah.
game. It's great.
It even says on the box.
They're playing a game.
one thing we try to do is we try to have the same children with us all the time, so everyone looks familiar. So that helps. We have actually just one little piece of artwork that we bring with us, which is
Okay. Wait,
always up in every home we're in. So that's nice.
It's like a nice little like, hey, that's ours.
So another thing we'll do is in any given home we go to, we'll rearrange the furniture to work for our family. It's something small you can do. It's not like you're making permanent changes to the home, but it makes it feel like a space that you've customized to your family's needs. So we'll move furniture around, and then when we leave, we'll put it back. But that helps a lot. All right, so another thing we do as far as site goes is we actually try to move in as much as possible wherever we are. So it means not living out of suitcases anymore, at least if we can do it. So for instance, we'll hang up our clothes if we can. If there are dressers in the home, we'll just, put our clothes in the dresser, act as if you're living there, and that just makes it feel a little bit more like home. So I've actually taken a lot of the suitcases we had and I've put them up in their attic. So they're stowed away at a site, and it feels more like we're actually living somewhere.
All right. The next S on our list, the third S, is sound. And so when you're in a place, if it sounds strange to you, if you hear strange sounds, like when you're trying to sleep in a bedroom and there's new creaking and stuff and it's scary, that doesn't make you feel very comfortable. So for one thing, while we're sleeping, we use fans and white noise. That's pretty typical. I know a lot of you do that. The next thing is we try to play the same music. We do like to play the music for the area, and when we were in New York, we were playing lots of jazz, and here in France, we're obviously playing French music. But we also have songs that are like just a part of our family, and we did this when we were traveling in the RV as well. And if you actually want to go, you can see this is the true playlist we played all the time in the car. It's called North and South, and it's on Spotify, so you can go check that out. But we play those songs. We fill our house with music to set the mood and set the tone. We have dance parties. It's a really important part of our day. If we all feel really funky, okay, just a second each. If we all feel really funky and we just can't seem to pull it together and we feel kind of like we're drifting, we will resort to Christmas songs, and it works. Eve especially loves Christmas songs. So I promised her that if she danced for me, I would let her listen to a Christmas song. Okay, you ready?
Yummy.
Yay! All right, so our first three S's are what? Smell or scent? Sound? No, sorry. Smell, sound. Can't get it.
Sight, sound.
Smell. So our first three S's are sight, smell, no. What are they? All right, so our first three S's are smell, sight, and sound. Let's talk about the last two.
Okay, the next thing we do is schedule to make it feel a little bit more like home, which means we keep our routines pretty consistent regardless of where we're at. There's a few of those things. One is our chore chart, which we talk about a lot, but in our family, chores are pretty important. Because one thing is there's a lot of us, so we all have to kind of keep things clean, but also just for consistency. So to give you an idea, I have on Google Drive our chore chart. I put this together a long time ago, but I've got our weekly chores here, which happen every Friday or Saturday, depending on the schedule for the week. And then I have daily chores for everybody that consists of dishes and picking up, basically. So that's one way we stay kind of like feeling like it's home. Also is some of our routines. One is we kind of have a daily schedule that we stick to. Another is we go to church every week, regardless of where we're at, which is important. In the LDS church, it's the same schedule wherever you go. The lessons change within that schedule, but it's very consistent, so they know what to expect. Also, something we do every week is called Family Home Evening, Every Monday night we have an activity or a lesson together, and that's something that, again, is pretty consistent regardless of where we're at. So for us, keeping a schedule and keeping some of these routines in place keeps things consistent. The kids know what to expect, so that wherever we're at, it always feels like home.
All right, and our final S is spirit. And maybe that's a little unexpected, but we felt like it had to be included because it's a really important part of making our home feel like a home no matter where we show up. One of the first things that we do, or at least on the first evening that we're in a home, Mike will actually, consecrate our home as a sacred place, as this place is a safe and sacred place where the Holy Spirit can dwell. That's part of our faith tradition, and we really do believe that it makes our home feel protected and not spooky, and as a happy place. Some of you said, like, that house definitely looks haunted, and I don't think we're ever going to experience that because we do that. Another important part of bringing the right spirit into our home is that, and this kind of relates to schedules, is that we have family prayer together every day at meals and at bedtime. And we kneel together on the floor. We actually do kneel, and we've kneeled in houses and in the RV. You've probably seen that in apartments and here at this beautiful French home. And we say a prayer and we ask for blessings to be upon each other by name sometimes, If somebody's struggling with something in school, or we know they have a goal, or like when Elisha was in Japan, we pray for each other. And that really brings a spirit into our home that we feel like makes us all feel very safe there, and also makes us feel a lot of love for each other. But also part of spirit isn't just our faith tradition, but I think it's important this is for us at least, to think about the spirit that you're bringing into your home through the things that you're listening to and watching and reading. And we're really careful about that, not because we want to be prudes or anything along those lines, but because we think it's important that we watch uplifting things to make our home feel full of, light and goodness. And so, we don't listen to music that's angry or dark, and it's the same for the programs that we watch. And the kids know it, and sometimes they self-regulate, and I'll watch them, and they're like, yeah, that wasn't a good video. And sometimes I say, hey, I don't really like this song, and so they'll turn it off. But I think we're all very conscious of that, and we feel really happy that we've gotten better at that over the years, and we've definitely noticed a shift in our home and noticed that we just feel happier when we really protect the sounds and the sights and the things that we say and do inside our home. And so that obviously also includes how we speak to one another. A really big deal for Mike in our parenting is that nobody is, snarky or rude with each other, that we speak with kindness and respect towards one another. And I think that is probably the most important factor of making our home feel like a safe, happy place, is that it is a safe and happy place, that we do speak lovingly and kindly to one another. Definitely our kids argue, but arguments are a little bit different. That's where there's a disagreement and you're, feeling passionate about something. It's the rude comments like, you're so dumb, or I can't believe you would think that we have no tolerance for in our parenting and in our family. And I love that our kids have picked up on that, and that they speak kindly and respectfully to one another. We really don't have that tone of voice happening. And I think that means that when they're at home, they feel safe. They don't feel like they have to defend themselves and protect themselves against mean comments, that they can be vulnerable with their emotions and their feelings and the things that they like in our home. And we really work hard to stay on top of that, because sometimes we'll get cranky and more of that will start happening, and then we try to pull it back in. So that's our fifth. And that is the spirit that is in the home that we bring with us wherever we go, whatever building that we're in, whether it's an RV or an apartment or a large home. That's how we make it feel like home. All right, so those are our 5 S's. What are they again?
We had smell, sight, sound, schedule, and spirit.
And those are the 5 things that we really feel like that we've noticed that we do. Because now I'm telling you, the kids, I'm so excited to see them all just come into a home and get comfortable. We don't have a lot of problems with bedtimes in new homes. I thought for sure that we would.
Yeah.
That everybody would be like, I can't sleep here. It's weird, or it smells weird, or it feels scary. So, yeah, I think those are really important and have been kind of the secret to our success.
More S's. And really, those principles are applicable even if you're stationary. I think there's importance in creating consistency in your home, even if it's the same home and you've been there for 20 years. But having those things that make it feel like a true home for your children and for yourself, to be safe and to feel loved there. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's important. And then lastly, the thing that really makes home feel like home for us is just that we're together as a family. Meg and I talk about this all the time, that home is wherever we are, largely because we're there together.
Yeah.
So a family is it can be a home, regardless of your location, what type of home you're staying in. It's the family.
Yeah, it is. Like, it really isn't the building, or, I mean, those things are important, but for us, if we're together, if we're in a strange car, we're in our car, we're in a train or a subway, it's us, and we make each other feel at home. And I was wondering about that, if we would always feel kind of lost and disconnected and that we had no home, but we don't at all, because we are our home.
Yeah, it's us. So hopefully that helps you guys in your own either travels or just parenting your family and or being a family.
And creating a sacred space on the earth for you to feel safe in.
So that.
All right.
That it?
Yep. Have a great day,
Okay.
guys. We love you.
See ya.
Bye.